Okay, greetings everybody. I wanted to put together this quick tutorial for you today involving automation in Photoshop. We do automation in Photoshop via actions. The advantage of this is we're able to perform a series of steps on an image and to be able to repeat that, to duplicate that with other images. Okay, it's a huge time saver. Here I have a photo shoot that I got roped into. This is a friend's bar mitzvah, and I happen to have my camera gear with me, so I became the default photographer for the day. But here I have a series of images. They're all exposed relatively the same, and what I want to do is I want to create an effect, but I want to apply it to every single image. I can open up each one at a time and repeat these steps. I don't want to do that, and I want to find an automated way to do that, and I do that via actions. In Photoshop, you'll see under Window, there's the Actions panel. Go ahead and open that up. Photoshop comes with several default actions, and you can see here, here's one that will create a sepia tone. If I highlight the action and then click play, it's going to run through a series of steps, and it's going to turn this into a sepia tone. And you can see here, if I open up this little triangle here, these are all the steps that it went through. Just very quickly. Took a snapshot, made a layer, merged the visible layers, desaturated, did all this stuff instantaneously. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to go back to my original image here, but I want to create an action of my own. To do that, I click on this Create Action icon, and then I'm going to name the action, I'll name this Maguire processed. Maguire processed. Now if this is something I'm going to be using again and again, I can also create a function key for this, but I'm not going to be doing that for this example. So to start, I just click record. Once I do that, anything I do in Photoshop is being recorded. Okay, every step is going to be recorded. So what I want to do with this image is I want to first create a black and white adjustment layer. I want to just make some little adjustments here. Okay, so something like that, right? And then maybe I'll add one more levels adjustment layer just to kind of pop out or brighten the exposure just a little bit. Okay, so that's it. I like what I see. I do want to add one more effect on here, and to do that I want to work non-destructively, so I'm going to create a background layer. I'm going to come here to Filter, Noise, and I'm going to add some noise, right? I want to give it kind of like an old film look. Okay, so something like that. I'll do monochrome, click OK. All right, so I like that. Now what I want to do is I want to flatten all the layers. So I can do that here under Layer, Flatten Image. And that's it. So I want to come back here to Actions, and you'll see everything that I just did is all under this new action that I created. So the very last thing I want to do here, I want to save this as a JPEG. So I'm going to come up here to Save JPEG, and I'm going to create a little folder within this print folder, and this will be, I'll call this Processed Images from Action. Click Create. I click Save, adjust my quality there, click OK. All right, so it's going to run through all these steps, make it black and white, add some noise, then save the image as a JPEG. That's what I want to do. I click Stop here, and perfect. Okay, so now what I want to do is I can go ahead and close this out, and I want to do this for every image in that folder. And I want to be able to load in every single image in this print folder, right? Open it up, and run it through the same process. In order to do that, I come here to File, Automate. I'll do a batch here. I'm going to select the action that I created. This is the action, Maguire processed. It's going to ask me what the source is. I'm going to choose the source file, which is actually this print folder right here. Choose print. Everything else looks okay. And then it's going to ask me the destination. Well, I'll choose the destination here. Let's see. And that's going to be this processed images from actions, right? I'll click OK. Once I do that, it is going to run through every single image, but it's opening each image, it's applying that action. Okay. Now I've canceled it just for time's sake, but I want you to be able to see what it's done here. So it's gone in and done that to each image, right? Each one has that effect applied. Okay, so we know how to create an action, right? But we want to be able to, if we're on someone else's system, let's say if we're using like a lab computer, we want to be able to take this action and be able to import it into another computer, right? In order to do that, we need to create an action set. And we do that in the action panel with this folder here. We click this folder and it says create new set. I'm going to call this Maguire actions, okay? Now within that I can have several actions, okay, but for this example I'm only going to use one. So this Maguire processed, I'm going to put that in here. Now if you right click on this action, and in order to export this out, I want to come up here to this little menu. We come down here to Save Actions, which again, you have to do that within the action set. You cannot, you can see here, if I just select the action itself, this is ghosted out. For whatever reason, it needs to be within an action set. I come here to Save Actions, save the action to this folder here on my desktop. And coming back to my desktop here, if I go to Actions, you can see here it's created this ATN file, right? Okay, so now let's imagine that I'm on somebody else's system. I'm going to go ahead and trash this. And I open it up. Obviously my actions would not be in the system, so I need to import them into the system. I do pretty much the same process that I did to save it. I come here and click on this, this menu here, and then I just load the action. Now I'm loading the action set, so within this I could have several actions. I only have one. So I click OK, and you see now this is my action. And you can see here that it has now imported my action. So one more thing with actions, with this action set here, you are able to go back in and edit these. So let's say that I don't want to add noise. I can come back in here and click on the step that I don't want to include and then just trash it. Okay, so now it's going to run through this whole process again. It's going to make the image black and white, but it's not going to add the noise. I can also change the order of these if I needed to. Maybe I want to flatten the image from the very beginning. Of course, that wouldn't do anything because from the very beginning I only have one layer, but you can see that you can change the order of these. Okay? So again, actions, super important, huge time saver in Photoshop. I recommend using them, especially if you're dealing with hundreds or thousands of images and you want to apply the same process to multiple images.